Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the open Great League, and let's see if we can get some wins with this team. We got the Clodsire paired with the Feraligatr and the Guzzlord in the back. Initially against this Scrafty, we are resisting all the moves. They reveal Power Up Punch, which is not going to be effective. Are they running Foul Play or are they running Thunder Punch? Let's find out. Sludge Bomb is not enough to take them out. Foul Play is finally revealed, and they... I believe it was a Claydol, then they swapped out into their Weezing. So this Feraligatr has decent matchups. We are going to shield here, but these Brutal Swings are going to outpace us. So this is going to be quite interesting. Hydro Cannon does take out the Weezing, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. We're going to get to another Hydro against this Claydol. Claydol decides to use their last shield. We're going to be able to get into this matchup up a shield. And Guzzlord is looking to save up some energy. We tried to catch the move, but our opponent is able to recognize that. But because they had to go for the farm down, we are able to reach the Earthquake for the win. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the combination of the Clodsire and the Guzzlord. Shadow Dragonite, tough lead here as they're going to be able to apply a lot of fast move and charge move pressure. We can take one, thankfully. So we go for the Sludge Bomb and we grab that shield. Our opponent knows our count and catches a move. So we're going to go into our Guzzlord versus this Drapion. They reveal Aqua Tail, which is resisted, and that's good news for us because they probably don't have Sludge Bomb. We're going to be able to get the farm down. That's fantastic. Expecting Dragonite to come back in. If it does, we have to go for the fast move because they do win the cap time. And they get a shield and then dip out into their Lapras. We chip away at this Lapras so this Feraligatr can hopefully get it low enough for a farm down. But you can see here, they are going to be able to get a Sparkling, and we are going to be able to get to this Hydro. We do grab that last shield. Dragonite comes back in, gets the farm down that they need. We go for the farm down, and luckily we have energy to use to take out the Lapras. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with a little bit of a dip and switch. We are just going to chunk away and then just get the remaining Pokemon low enough so that we can have a better opportunity to take it down later on. One thing to note is that the core of Clodsire and Guzzlord is a little bit weak to the Dugong, so watch out for those ice types and specifically Dugong. All right, next game here. Let's see if we can continue the battles. We are going to have Clodsire versus Charjabug. Favorable lead here as we resist all the moves except for Crunch, but that's a kind of a weird move set right now. They decide to have Crunch for Alligator. So even more reason not to have Charjabug with Crunch, but nonetheless, fighting the very rare Feraligatr running Crunch is very favorable for this Guzzlord. However, this Feraligatr is super spammy. We go for the Brutal Swing. We try to undercharge there, but it didn't quite work out. Our opponent does reach a move to take out our Guzzlord, and we still have the great matchup of Clodsire onto their Charjabug. You can see right here, we are going to fire off this Earthquake to chip away at this Lapras. We try to catch a Sparkling, but our opponent is aware of this, and they go for the Skull Bash. So that's huge damage. Luckily, we do survive, thankfully, which allows us to get to that move to grab this last shield. Now we have to shield here. We need to take out this Lapras immediately. And because we did take it out immediately, this Clodsire is still fairly healthy. X's, as you can see here, not enough. They need to get to at least 2 more charge moves. But by that time, we're going to be able to reach this Earthquake easily to take him out. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the Clodsire. We basically needed to keep the Clodsire as healthy as possible and have a great alignment. All right, we got the Clodsire versus the Drapion. We need to get out of there. The Drapion just too spammy, outpaces us too easily. We go into the Feraligatr. We have to throw the Hydro anyways, as all of our moves, except for the fast moves, are resisted. Hydro Cannon is used by them as well. We're going to be able to get to another Hydro here. This Hydro actually gets it low enough that we can potentially farm down with the Shadow Claws. So that's why you missed the shield there to flip the switch on them. And we have energy to throw back at this Drapion. So we get the shield back anyways. And it was a cap tie. So that was really, really fortunate for us. They realize that. So they go for the undercharge. They get 2 poison stings. It just comes down to, does this have Sludge Bomb? Because this Guzzlord is going to be able to resist all the moves except for the Sludge Bomb. And now we have the Clodsire onto the matchup we actually wanted. This Cradily is going for the Grass Nuts, which is neutral damage. Luckily, we do have this Sludge Bomb to deal a chunk of damage. We can survive another Grass Knot, so now we're just going to make sure we go for this Earthquake. Earthquake is going to grab that last shield. Our opponent here is going to be able to get to another move. We shield here. They decide to go for the debuff, but now we're going to be able to reset that debuff, go into our Guzzlord, and I believe this doesn't have any Sludge Bomb like we said, so we should be good. Sludge Bomb on our own does a good chunk. We look for the farm down, unable to get the farm down. Crunch is used. They are able to get 1 extra bullet seed, but luckily our Clodsire did have residual energy, and down goes Cradily. So GG's to our opponent, able to kind of wiggle out of that tough lead. The Drapion just couldn't quite get enough damage against our own Guzzlord. Speaking of Guzzlord, we have the Clodsire versus the opposing Guzzlord here. This is going to be okay for us. Luckily, we do have the Sludge Bombs to kind of fire back. We do get them to use a Brutal Swing, fortunately. So we're just going to let this go here. Huge Sludge Bomb, and they get the farm down. We actually wanted the Dragon Claw damage instead of the charge move. So now that is in range of potential farm down, but we're just going to go for that Sludge. And then we have 2 shield Feraligatr for the end game. I believe they revealed Jellicent and then swapped out into the Toxapex. Toxapex is pretty tanky. However, it doesn't really have any great charge moves except for the Sludge Wave, but it takes a while to get to. We do shield the first one. Ends up being the Brine, makes sense. And just like that, look at that. We've already grabbed 2 shields from our opponent. Or sorry, we grabbed the last shield from our opponent and only expending 1. We shield here because the Surf would hit KO. And then we're just going to fire off this Earthquake before they get to their move. It's not enough for the KO, but we try to get to another Earthquake, unable to get there. They have too much residual energy, and they're just going to be able to get to another Surf for the KO. So GG's to our opponents. Tough backline. Check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.